Let's turn now to Australia in 1985-86. It's the first test match in Brisbane, and was it New Zealand's perfect test?
Without question. Of all the tests that I'd played in, this had to be the fairy tale one. It couldn't have been written better. We won the toss at the Gabba and decided to bowl first, where conditions were overcast and cloudy and a bit humid. The pitch was reasonably frisky in the first morning, and we're on and off the field, funnily enough, through weather, which meant that I could bowl, for most of the day. And we bowled Australia out relatively cheaply.
Here now, the first of those wickets, Andrew Hilditch.
There's the hook shot, it's in the air, and Ewan Chatfield has taken the catch. A brilliant catch at fine leg. He's not noted for his fielding.
And the next victim was David Boone.
He's gone, that's beautifully taken. He has got good hands.
Borders hit, he's out, first ball after lunch, he's driven on the up to cover. Wasn't a good shot, but it was a good safe catch, and what a breakthrough from Richard Hadlee. He's gone, yes, beautiful piece of bowling. This is one of the great spells of test bowling by Richard Hadlee. The number one striker picks up Greg Ritchie, and Australia are reeling at 4 for 82.
Oh, and that's got to be very close. I would say that's out, yes. Not much doubt about that. A very good delivery from Richard Hadlee, moving back into the left-hander. And Kepler Wessels, I think, even if he had been playing a shot, still would have been out. He was well and truly in line. Oh, and right through him. Clean bowled. On that occasion, playing a shot, but it wasn't down the right line. And Hadlee has made it 6 out of 6. Oh, and he's gone through Phillips as well.
It's gone. Great catch. Best figures ever for Richard Hadlee, 8 for 52. His previous best was 7 for 23 against India in 1975-76.
Bob Holland survived just 3 balls before falling to Hadlee.
He gone, yes, 9 wickets. What a wonderful performance from Richard Hadlee. One of the all-time great performances at the Gabba. His teammates must congratulate the great fast bowler, and what a privilege it has been to watch that performance.
And for me personally, to pick up 9 wickets in an innings for 52 runs is my greatest ever bowling performance in a test match, because you dream about the ultimate and it very rarely happens, but to get 9 was quite incredible. And I caught the other batsman out.
10 at one stage.
Well, it was probably on, because I had the first 8 and then Vaughan Brown bowled, and I took the catch when Geoffrey Lawson hit out. And some people have often said to me, why didn't you drop it? And I said, well, the game of cricket's not like that. You take every chance that you can. And it was significant for Vaughan Brown, of course, because that was his first ever test wicket. But we bowled them out cheaply, and then we batted quite splendidly. And with Martin Crowe getting 188, I think it was, and John Reid getting 100, we managed to get a very big lead and put a lot of pressure on the Australians.
The bouncer, it's in the air, Chatfield under it, and he's gone again to the hook shot. And Hilditch hangs his head in shame as Richard Hadlee enjoys the moment.
Wayne Phillips also fell to the conquering Richard Hadlee.
Oh, he's got him. Oh, once again, Phillips has dragged the ball back onto his stumps. He did that in the first innings, and there he was on the back foot, trying to force Hadlee away on the offside. Got an inside edge, and it's back onto his off stump.
Edged and gone. Jeremy Coney, the second slip specialist, has ended a magnificent partnership, just 3 runs short of the 200. And a simple catch on this occasion. Craig McDermott just spooning it back to Hadlee. And out. Caught at extra cover. Safely caught there. And he's got him right through him, and that makes it 6 in the second innings, 15 for the match, and New Zealand have won by an innings and 41 runs.
15 wickets for me in the match, which was my best ever return, again a New Zealand record. 50-odd runs with the bat. It was my perfect performance and the team's perfect performance, and our first ever win against Australia on Australian soil. And it was significant in our history because it set up our first ever series win that we were to have in Australia.
and on what seemed from the commentary box anyway, a pretty good batting track.
Yes, well, as the game went on, normally conditions get better and better, I think, and you know, the Aussies, I don't think, batted particularly well against us. Glenn Turner made a dramatic change to my bowling whereby we used a rubbish bin, funnily enough, as a position for the umpire to stand at practice, because he felt that I was bowling a little bit too wide of the crease, and he said, I've got to get you a bit closer. And so we actually worked out where the umpire should stand, and I mark him to this very day 6 feet behind the wickets so that I can get in closer, because if you've got an umpire standing up too close to the wickets, he tends to push you a bit wide of the crease. So we got him absolutely right so I could get in close. So I bowled wicket to wicket, got the ball to swing and seam away, and I always felt that if the Australian batsmen had weaknesses, it was on or about off stump with the ball moving away, particularly because they tend to play on the back foot, they tend to square up and hover around the crease a bit, and if you get the ball to deviate a bit, you had a chance for the slip catching, and of course we took some very, very good slip catches right throughout the series. And it was my best ever series. 33 wickets in a 3-match series is a very, very high strike rate at a very low cost of about 12-13 runs per wicket. And it was significant that, well, that performance was to win our first ever series on Australian soil.
This is not meant to be a coaching tape or a coaching video, but is that where it all began? The real bowling wicket to wicket, where you went into the nets and you had this garbage bin there to simulate the umpire, and you worked on it in that way, because that's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever heard for young bowlers.
Yes, because even though I was bowling off the shorter run-up, I was still bowling about midway between the crease and sometimes a bit wider, because I got psychologically just pushed wider without even really thinking about it. But once I got in a lot closer, I was able to still control the ball, but still bowl wicket to wicket. So it gave me a greater chance for LBWs, which meant that the batsmen, they had to play at you. Even if the ball was nipping away, they still had to play at you if it was straight enough, because they didn't know if it was going to nip back, you see, and if it did, you had a chance of an LB or bowled. And so that really, that performance, that 9 for 52 in that test match at the Gabba, was a complete bowling performance. And I remember Max Walker actually making a comment at the end of the day that it was pure skill. No intimidation, no bounces, just skill, where the ball virtually talked. It swung and it seamed and it bounced, and for the first time I'd bowled consistently well to both left and right hand batsmen, because I have had problems bowling to the left-hander because I naturally drift it too straight or down the leg side, but I got it right to these fellas and got wickets, which was tremendous. And it was a very good team performance at the end of the day, even though I may have been the catalyst for setting it.